This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
All right, what do we got here, guys? We got a podcast.
Hey, you ready? You ready, TC? I don't know. TC doesn't look ready.
TC doesn't look ready, but
He's
he is
not
on an
ready.
iPhone, so maybe it's just the angle of the iPhone.
Yeah, it's not a flattering angle.
He is cursing under his breath still, so.
That's right. It just makes his baseball cap look unusually big.
Yeah.
So he's got that kind of.
Is that even a hat or is it just a brim?
It's a brim for the Bruges.
It's a Bruges brim. All right, we're watching movies, guys.
We're going.
We're going. This is supposed to be a Christmas-themed episode, but at this point, we're probably a couple weeks past the New Year's. But, still holidays for a while. And I feel like this little binge we're doing of Martin McDonagh is going to lead us right into a Best Picture win from the Banshees of Inisherin,
You think?
I'm predicting
Wow.
it. This year has been pretty good for movies, but I don't know. This one, we haven't seen it yet, so we can't really,
No,
That's
there's
true.
been a lot of good buzz there.
A lot of good buzz. Lots and lots of good buzz. But this week, we're going back to this first one in Bruges, which came out in 2008. He wrote and directed
his first film?
His first
I thought
film.
there might have been one more film before then.
You like to say that, and we go back, and it's probably going to be, hey, yes, he did a short movie, but that doesn't count.
So you're saying I'll be right.
So you'll be wrong. It's not a film.
what he's saying is you're wrong,
I
John.
was wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah, so he did Six Shooter, and he wrote it and directed it, and it was a short, John. That doesn't count.
See?
Oh,
So I'm
wow,
right.
okay.
Yeah, John
That's
always
a
does that. He
film.
goes to Wikipedia, he goes to something, looks
It's
up
a
a
short
movie
film.
beforehand,
Wait a
doesn't
minute.
look up
Wait a
anything earlier than that, and just mentions it passingly. Makes me look like an idiot on the podcast.
Because yes, and somehow I'm the bad guy when you're the wrong one.
Because that's not a movie. A short.
It's a
it's
short
not a
film.
movie.
I mean,
you
it's
said
something.
you said his first film.
Okay.
You didn't say his first feature length
Feature
movie.
length. That's assumed. What are we doing here, John?
Yeah,
We're
it's
not
not
watching
assumed.
shorts.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Have we watched the short?
Well, we watched collection of shorts. What was the Wild Tales was a collection of shorts. But right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But marketed as a feature-length film. All right, we're
Yeah,
watching
we
in
watched
Bruges.
musicals, which
We are watching in
argue
Bruges.
with that one. Yes.
And I think John and I have seen it, and TC hadn't seen it yet. And I think
you had
TC
not?
watched it yesterday.
No, I had not.
So watched it yesterday for
Excellent.
the first time, TC. What do you got?
I liked it.
Good.
All right, I'm done.
Well done.
No, I thought it was really, really well written, and I thought the comedy was fucking hilarious. Really, yeah. I mean, I had a good time
Agreed.
with it. I wasn't expecting that movie. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I was just when I saw the two on the, the IMDb, and I was like, okay, this is just going to be one of those Irish dumb kind of stupid movies that's funny.
What?
But and it wasn't that. It was like a good story. It was and you actually like Colin Farrell.
You do.
I did.
And you like Brendan Gleeson, too.
Yeah,
And
and
you kind of
he's
like
great.
Voldemort over there, too.
You
don't
do.
you?
Oh, Harry
You
was
do.
again.
You do.
That's the trick
Yeah.
McDonagh does. It seems is make these horrible people somehow
Just seems
somewhat
so
likable,
cool.
which is hard to defend.
Yeah, right?
Really hard to defend.
But
But still, it happens.
yeah. I really liked the characters. I really did, and I thought the acting was really good, and yeah, just the writing was well done. I thought just the,
No, we
the
should say-
comedy.
I would add, there's a lot of moments in the film that we'll probably talk about and spoil. And if you listeners,
true.
you haven't seen this, you should see it. And
100%.
there's just a lot of really good moments here that we'll probably talk about that are just nice to experience.
Some all-timers.
without-
I would say there's at least one all-time best kind of scene.
We'll have to argue. We'll have to argue or maybe we'll agree on it. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
There's a number of pretty good
I
moments.
really liked the underlying movie theme to it. Kind of meta.
Which is
right?
what?
Like it's a movie.
That
Which
they were
the movie set's
filming
there,
together.
and they
Oh,
end
okay.
up on the movie
Yeah.
set, right?
Yeah.
And it is the movie basically.
Mhm.
Right.
It was good, right? And then because there was that moment where the snow comes in, I was just like, wait a second, when did it get cold? And I was like, oh, they're in the movie.
They're in the
I
fairyland.
see.
It's like
Yeah,
a
right.
fairyland.
It's like a fairy. I see. Yeah, right. It was cool stuff. I liked it. I don't really have too much else to say. It's definitely something to see if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going
Yeah.
next, John.
Yeah.
You go next,
I'm going to
Danny.
steamroll it without
You
without
go,
asking.
baby. Go. Roll, baby. Roll.
Because I think I've seen this movie the most out of anyone here.
Probably.
I've seen it. This is probably my third time.
Okay, I've probably seen it like 6 times.
Okay.
I think
Go.
this is one of the movies I could watch every year. There's like a feeling in it that is throughout, and it's great. Their friendship is really like, I like it how real they are with each other.
Yep.
And that's true with like a lot of the interactions. And that's not just like the main two characters. It's with Ralph Fiennes too. Like the interactions are just kind of, they have these personas that they're trying to, I don't know, at least Ralph Fiennes is like, he's a hitman, right? He's like a hard ass mob boss hitman.
Right.
But then
he's like the head
there are
hitman.
some scenes that he's just like, oh, badass hitmen are real people too. You know, like,
Right.
like
Yeah,
people
like
who
when he's
don't
getting
know
sad and
that
shit. Yeah.
when he's getting sad,
Right.
the scene where the tower guard is poking him in the forehead because he's not listening, fucking hilarious. And then he just beats the ever-loving shit out of the guy right after when he takes it the entire time, and his facial expression is just like, "I'm gonna murder you, dude. You don't know who I am."
It's
Yeah.
How do you reconcile that watching it over and over again when people get shot and die in this? I mean, there's a darkness to some of the things that happen. You know, a little boy gets shot. How do you reconcile that? Because I have the same. How
do I like get over it? Because
I mean, I have my theory about it. I want to just see what you thought. Yeah.
So your theory might be right because there are two parts of this movie. This movie is pretty damn awesome all the way through, but there are two parts that bug me in this movie because one of them doesn't fit and one of them doesn't make sense. And the reason I don't feel too bad about the kid getting shot, I feel worse like when Colin Farrell's acting is happening, right? Like that scene is
good.
He's really good at acting during the scenes where he's feeling bad about that. But the scene where they flash back to the kid getting shot, I don't know. That scene seems weird. Like, well, very specifically, he shoots the priest with a gun without a silencer.
Right.
It makes a loud bang, and the kid is right in the other room, and the kid doesn't fucking run or do anything. The kid is still at the pew praying after he hears a gunshot in the other room. I don't think so. That doesn't make any sense to me. That scene is a little unbelievable just because the kid stays there because the plot needs him to, sort of thing.
I mean, the whole thing is kind of unbelievable, though, right? The cops would be on them at some point. I mean, he shot people.
I can believe everything else.
Fighting people. They're,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff happening in public.
The Canadian.
With those extended sequences at the end, you'd think,
I heat the Canadian? Huh? The fuck are you saying? That was funny shit.
Yeah.
You heat the Canadian.
Shit.
Shit. Fuck.
Yeah, and another. So I'm gonna expand that to three parts. There's another stupid part, but you can kind of explain it away. When Colin Farrell's character Ray comes back to the town, that's pretty fucking stupid too. But he's also suicidal, so you can kind of be like, I mean,
I thought he had to come back because the cops made him come back or something.
But he could have hid. He went to the fucking town square and had coffee with his girlfriend. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
He knew that Ray Fiennes' character was coming to kill him.
Yeah. But he's also
kind of a nitwit. Right? I mean,
but
like,
not that big of a nitwit.
No, I know, but he's kind of he's kind of all over the place and doesn't like follow the norms of anything.
That's true.
You know.
But all right, so you brought me down the negative path earlier than I had hoped for.
Yeah, right. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're really kicking this right off at the
small nitpicks that are easily overlooked because the rest of the movie is so good. But the other, I'll just say the other one is when it's right after my favorite part of the movie, and I think one of the best scenes of this specific kind I've ever seen in a movie. When Ray Fiennes is chasing Colin Farrell through the town, the music during that part is distractingly.
It's just like 90s hard guitar.
It sounds
bad. Too. Like it was like hair metal, not a very good hair metal
mixed
band
terribly,
kind of guy.
like in a bad studio.
Because otherwise the soundtrack, the score is great.
Yes,
except
and it comes
part.
after the best part, which is shocking. The part. So my favorite, I think one of the best death scenes ever committed to film is in this movie. Is when Brendan Gleeson is at the top,
he falls?
And they play the Dubliner song,
and then he's alive
when he's
still?
coming up. Yes, that scene is amazing.
I can't believe they pulled that off.
It's amazing.
Because I remember thinking, I'm like, you see it blow up, right? Like you see the body
which is
blow
shocking
up.
as
oh my,
fuck.
it's crazy, right? It looks like it just looks like
it seems like you're watching a snuff film because the way that people scream and shit too.
Right.
And then he looks up at him.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, I think I'm gonna die now.
Take my gun.
And also like he's annoyed. He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like
he's like, listen to me. What's the matter with you? Take my gun. He's coming, you dipshit. You know, and he's fucking. He should be long dead by then. No one would survive that. That thing was so high.
I love that whole thing though. It's like he drops the coins because he wants to protect the people. Like that by itself is great. The music with him getting ready to kill himself. The whole scene beforehand where like he almost gets away from Ray Fiennes, but then that asshole comes up the stairs and he's like, you got Colin Farrell down there. And he's like, he instantly knows what's going to happen. Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That was
good.
good. That was really good.
And then the fact that he pulls the gun out
moment.
and there's just like springs and pieces of metal, you know, you wouldn't think that the gun would get destroyed like that. It's just a bunch of shit in a row that is really unique. And I think, I love it. That scene is amazing.
Right. It was.
Yeah.
Because it had already ratcheted up.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it went further than that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the neck thing opened up. And then you're like, holy fuck, this is really blowing up into shit. They're so fucked. Right.
And that's what I think maybe
raising the stakes.
It's like this idea of why that the darkness and stuff that happens, it doesn't seem real, even though parts of this movie seem very real and heartfelt. But it feels like it's all about playing with storytelling and allowing it to be almost part fairy tale, or it's almost like there's parts of these that it doesn't have to be real, because what they want are these set pieces where they make these interactions happen, and the interactions that happen are so fantastic that it doesn't matter.
I have a different feeling than that. I think that so I kind of agree that it toes that line, but you're on the other side of the fence. I think like it's trying to make it a fairy tale, but what it's doing is it's showing how real life can be similar to fairy tales. Like I'm still fully grounded in reality. It seems a little extreme, but their situation is extreme too, right? Because like people have fallen out of planes and survived, right? Like it is possible that you could jump off a tower and live for 10 seconds when you're on the ground. I buy it.
Not when you explode like they should.
I mean,
I don't know, man. People are fucking resilient.
Look, when it exploded like it did, there's no coming back from that.
I don't know. When you watch movies, whenever somebody gets shot in the stomach, they fall over and die immediately. When you actually see something like this.
My point is that I don't care. My point is that
right. And I don't think you're supposed to. You're not supposed to.
It's worth the shockingness of that scene is worth it by itself, and then what happens afterwards is worth it. Right. So the way both parts that happen, the way
I wasn't expecting him to shoot himself.
Oh, you didn't think? Yeah.
When he was about to
commit suicide?
No, the other guy.
Oh, Harry?
The other guy. Yeah, Harry.
You got to stick to your principles, TC.
I didn't quite. I mean, I get it, but it was just like, oh man, they really just, I
just think it was going.
They went for
the because it just sort of closes the loop entirely, and even like where. Ray's trying to say no way.
Yeah, he's trying to save him.
I know.
Killed
well, because he's changed at that point, right?
Oh, I maybe, but I think he's also just
That scene where they're like making up the rules in the hotel, where he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hop out the window over here. You'll have 10 seconds to run around on the count of 3."
And she's like, "You guys are insane.
You guys are insane. As long as you promise you'll leave, and I don't have to come back in here and find you in a fucking cupboard."
They're like, this is the shootout.
I promise.
Saying what it is. I think that was also an amazing scene. Yeah.
I love it how short Ray Fiennes' temper is. Harry's temper is in this movie.
Oh, he's so good in this film.
And you don't even see him until over halfway through the movie. Something I realized like this time. You just hear him on the phone a bunch.
Right. You hear him on the phone. That's it.
And then you see him for the first time in one of the best
I love
scenes.
that they take this the girl who's watching the hotel types out this whole diatribe again, which is absurd that she did that, but whatever. But this whole vulgar diatribe about what's going on, or when he's leaving the phone message.
Her commentary,
yeah, that was pretty funny. But
the music, it was distracting just because the rest of it. It was bad. It wasn't. I mean, it might have been terrible, but
it fit
in contrast to the rest of it.
I mean, doesn't it fit the type of situation that was going on back? I mean, it's just kind of like the old style action movie.
Yeah,
feel,
they're
right?
sort of like almost making fun of that. It's like it's the shootout and the chase scene,
right? It was like this
really
is the chase scene, right? Oh, I know. But it's part of the comedy, maybe, or they were trying to.
You think you think it's so bad that they thought it was so bad that you think it was funny?
It was funny.
Yeah.
But I think during that scene, you're supposed to be afraid.
Right, but it's
Colin
a good
Farrell.
chase scene. It's a really good. The way that plays out is pretty tense.
Yeah.
So
but it is a comedy, so you have some leeway.
Not towards the end though. It gets really unfunny.
No, I'm just saying in general, right?
Yeah.
So I could see it being like, oh, we're gonna throw in some fucking really shitty rock and roll here.
The fact that we're quite trying to figure out what it's trying to do is not necessarily a good thing.
Maybe just the guy who did the music, that just wasn't something he was good at.
It felt like insert music. It felt like somebody Googled.
Oh yeah, no, that was like royalty
Somebody's
free.
got a kid that plays guitar or something.
Yeah, but then in contrast to the ending song when he's dying and they're pulling him into the ambulance, and there's like all that stuff when he's like, you know, wandering into the movie theater set. That entire thing is awesome too.
Yeah. I mean, when he gets blown away like 4 fucking shots deep,
and stands there forever and watches as he shoots him from the boat. Like, dive in the water, you idiot!
He's too far. He's too far.
No, he gave up.
Dive in the water.
He knows he's gonna die. He's just gonna eat it.
I know. Again, I just feel like you want these sequences. You want him to get shot because he needs to be able to. So there's
working backwards, John. Here we go. Cynical John working backwards. This is how
the thing is, in other films, this is annoying. But I think I love this. I love that this is that things happen because he wants these characters to be in these situations so that they're going to have the interactions that they do. You know, he wants his buddy to be assigned to kill him, and he wants him to be suicidal, and he wants the guy who was assigned to kill him to stop him from the suicide attempt. And that is entirely contrived. But the scene that happens is so great that it doesn't matter at all because it's so great to watch.
Agreed.
And in other films, you see that. It's a complaint all the time. Video games, if you play video games, it's this fucking complaint all the time. Is like they decide what's going to happen and then they just have to like, okay, so then this has to happen, so this can happen. You know, and it just seems really contrived and annoying. And this stuff is contrived too, but it's brilliant because of the things that happen, the payoffs that you get are so good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense that they got there. It doesn't matter that he's going to come back to life after he's splattered all over the pavement because it's such a good payoff.
He doesn't come back to life. He never died, John.
He never died
the whole time.
Whatever. Of course, he never died.
He survived the neck.
Somebody came out there with a bike pump and
he was okay.
He was Christopher Lloyd from Who Framed Roger Rabbit there at the end.
He was just fine. All he needs a little air. It's just air that comes out mostly. I know, sure you see the blood. It's really the air. You got to put the air back in the body.
Yeah, you can survive without everything neck down for at least 15 seconds. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. Anyway, yeah.
Not the way it exploded. I'm telling you. If you look,
it was all legs, back, and neck that absorbed all that. His head was fine.
Exploded like a watermelon. Just boom.
That's right.
That was it. See you later.
So were you laughing when that happened, or were you?
Yeah,
you were.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene is genuinely shocking to me.
Yeah. It's still shocking.
Like that.
It might
one
be
of those.
like, one of those because it's still. I
mean, it was shocking as hell. Like Jesus
after repeated
Christ,
viewing, it's still nasty to watch.
Yeah. I did not rewind. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Thought about it. Just put it on.
I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Yeah. Yeah. Like, nah, you're like, oh, I should see that again. Nah.
So yeah, the ending is an amazing payoff, and totally it kind of switches genres a little bit towards the last quarter, and it works perfectly because like even in the comedy is like played so realistic by the characters. Like the jokes aren't in the way that the characters are silly, but it's like in the situations, in the lines.
Yeah.
They play it totally straight. Like the characters don't realize that they're being funny, and it's not played like a comedy movie, right? It's played like a drama.
Right,
but it's really, really funny. So going back to like the first 3 quarters, that whole part is just fun and funny, and the character interactions are great. And it's just a great movie to rewatch. I don't know. It's one of the movies that I easily rewatch because of those things, which is a sign of an excellent movie to me. So I love this movie.
Yeah. Did Naomi watch it with you?
She does. She's in the same boat as me. She'll watch it whenever I put it on.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And Nikki was like, it's a guy movie. She didn't really like it.
Has she seen it?
She watched parts of it with me a while back, I think. So, yeah. But
it is kind of a guy movie, but sensitive.
No, it's still good.
This is Colin Farrell's like, I'm really excited for this Banshees of Inisherin with these two guys getting back together.
Oh, is it the same? Is it
Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell again with Martin McDonagh?
Yeah, it kind of made sense once
I'm so
figured
excited
that out.
This was
exciting.
Watching this movie back probably in 2008 when it came out, I was like, I am a Colin Farrell fan for life after this.
Yeah. And now they're the same characters, or they're different characters?
I think they're different characters. I think it's just
interesting.
I think
it's very similar.
I have avoided all trailers because I know I'm going to see it and I want to go in blind.
Okay. But, it almost seems like that could be the sequel.
It could be. It
might
might
be interesting if it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how much money Colin Farrell's eyebrows are insured for?
Are they insured?
No.
Are you serious?
Guess.
I didn't know. Let's guess.
$500,000.
$2 million.
Okay, I'm lying. They're not insured. But I know.
Wait, you think they're that fantastic? His eyebrows?
It's so
he
expressive.
They're pretty big.
Expressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of how like amazing he is as an actor. Like in this film in particular, like just how expressive they are. They're wonderful.
Big bushy eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What else you got, Denny?
I don't know. Have I not covered my love for this movie enough.
You have.
I know. I think we got that much.
Yeah. I mean, his moodiness in the beginning is so hilarious. He's such like this moody little
He's
teenager.
like a little kid. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
totally.
It's so funny the way he does it. And contrasting with his friend who's trying to enjoy the sights. And
I know.
it's just so funny. And like, even there's
Is this
such
good?
great lines.
Is what good?
Yeah.
You know, sitting on a boat looking at stuff.
Right.
Yes, it is. It's called sightseeing.
It's like, or even when they're like in the church and they're like two great scenes there. One is like, well, when he was like, something about how we didn't agree that you were gonna whine all the way along, and he's like, that wasn't part of the deal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I never said anything about that.
Agreed to that.
Yeah, right.
Or it's like,
right, yeah.
And I quote this movie sometimes. Of course, you don't fucking have to.
Right.
You
And the
don't
Jesus
fucking
thing,
have
like,
to.
yeah,
And then he walks.
Jesus.
And I love that he
You don't
walks
have
right
to.
out.
Yeah.
He walks right
Yeah,
out.
he's like, okay,
He's like, all right,
okay.
cool. I don't
That's
have to. See ya.
Again, that's just I don't know. Moody teenager has ever been played better. It's just so
By an old man.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But he just does it, and that's the other thing about McDonagh. He get, and I don't know if it's the director or just the actors he gets, or because of the screenplay, but the performances he gets are just fantastic. The
It's gotta be the
interactions with
screenplay.
characters, the emotions.
I think it might be the screenplay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, same thing
Because
with,
they also have an
Billboards.
idea that they're going with because it was like natural for the both of them the way they talked. They just seemed like buddies.
Yeah, but the relationship, the way they have this sort of like
They have
either
chemistry, the
older
two of
brother,
them.
younger brother,
Yeah.
or kid and dad kind of relationship that it just comes across so well. It's just
because
it's pretty amazing.
It's one person, John. It's one person. It's Martin
just one
McDonagh's
person.
brain, is what it is.
His brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, just that dynamic alone is amazing. But then you have these other characters that just drift in and out that are also pretty spectacular. The Russian guy who wants to talk about the alcoves or whatever the hell. It's just that little bit is funny,
dude. When he karate chops the little person
man.
in the neck, I lost it. And there's so many funny parts with that too. And the shot where he's talking to Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson comes in from behind him and like puts his head on his shoulder because he just did some drugs in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Pretty damn funny.
And just I know that whole
funny.
sequence is hilarious. And again, just again, they're I mean, sitting there and confronting the little person with, well, don't you guys want to commit suicide all the time? And he just gives him the look that's entirely appropriate. And then Ray's character just like looks back at his friend like, I don't know what's wrong with him. It's just so funny. Just how clueless he is, you know, how they like let that play out. It's just oh man. It's just
the scene in the
amazing.
beginning where he tells the fat Americans that they shouldn't go up the tower, and then he does a little chase scene with the fat guy, and he's just like slowly
He's
dodging
trying.
him.
It's so great how he's like desperately trying not to insult them, but he wants to try to let them know that they're not going to fit. And
he
just,
was right
again,
because that guy had died apparently later on in the movie.
And did he die?
They closed
I
the
don't remember
towers
that.
because some American had a heart attack in the tower.
Oh, that's why they. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So they're referencing
So
him.
he was right.
Which is pretty hilarious. So yeah, I just and again, Harry's character is great too. I mean, he just starts off as this bad guy, but they give him the depth too. And like even when you know when Harry is sitting there and he comes after them and he meets up with Ken. So and they sit down and have their drink, and he's like, you know, just like, don't bring my kids into it. You know, when he brings his kids,
they're sitting there talking about murdering somebody. And they're worried about the fact that it's too far. I know.
Yeah.
It's
I think
funny.
that was just again.
It's just like that
whole
weird
interaction was
juxtaposition of like, you know, two guys that are talking about something so trivial in comparison to what they're about to do.
hilarious. Right. It's just again, I mean, Quentin Tarantino does this sort of thing, sort of like in Pulp Fiction, but it's not the same as this. I don't think. I think there it seems more about the words and the things they're saying, and the characters don't seem as amazing as this. But we'll have to see when we get to
real,
Pulp Fiction,
right?
But it's more like I think it, you know, and it's still very very cool, but it's more of like this is like some cool geek stuff that we're thinking about here that we're going to have these characters say, as opposed to. Hey, did you just freeze, Denny? I think Denny froze.
No,
he's there.
I'm here.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just being very still.
Maybe being still, I shouldn't.
I'm listening very intently,
I shouldn't
John.
criticize the Quentin.
He's actively listening, John.
That's probably.
Oh no, you
bad
can criticize
thing.
Quentin. I don't give a shit.
Okay, you're being all still. Like,
I'm listening. Yeah, this is what. Is this rare, John? Do you rarely get intent listeners? You're surprised.
Yes, you in particular. Yes. Like, Danny, what the fuck is wrong? You look like you're listening to me. Are you okay, Danny?
I'm just so happy you're saying positive things about a movie like this.
This movie's fantastic.
Jesus.
Agreed.
That's funny.
And I can't think of there's so many great scenes. It almost feels like a Monty Python sort of thing. But again, very different. But it has such memorable interactions that are just really amazing. So yeah, I still love the shootout scene. That's I don't know. The whole sequence there is pretty amazing. Like once Harry gets to town and how everything unfolds from there is pretty pretty amazing. Yeah, it's the shootout. This is the shootout. Oh, but the other thing, I love the conversation. The conversation when Ken and Harry are on the phone, and Harry's like, they present this so well that Harry is somebody who always gets things his way. So he's decided going to Bruges was going to be nice for Ray. And so, goddamn it, it's going to be nice.
Yeah,
and
like
so
he thought it was going to be a nice memory. The last memory.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to force Ken to basically
lie
beat him
about
over
shit.
the head
Yeah.
to admit that it's fucking nice because that's it's like it's a fairy tale.
What do you mean you didn't say it was nice?
That whole
like he's
interaction,
bummed out, right?
That whole interaction was great.
How could you not
because-
like Bruges?
Right. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was great.
He said it was great.
That was great. Yeah,
Did
he's
you
lying
guys
to him.
notice what movie was playing on the television at the beginning of that scene?
No.
Oh no, I was going to look it up. What
Playing
was it?
Touch of Evil, the Orson Welles movie. It's on the list,
Gotcha.
and it's famous
We saw
for the long uncut first shot of the movie, and that scene starts there, and then is one long uncut shot of Brendan
Is
Gleeson
that the
walking
one?
around the apartment.
Is Touch of Evil the one that takes place in Mexico?
Yeah. And the first shot is a guy putting a bomb on the back of a car, and then the car driving down the street, and then passing by the protagonist after like a few minutes, and then
And that car
blowing up in the
blows up,
background. Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I've seen that.
We have. We watched it on the list. But it was like 5 years ago at this point. So
I don't remember it.
It's forgivable.
Oops.
I remember
Orson Welles.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And Charlton Heston in Shoe Polish. He was playing a Mexican.
That's
Charlton
right.
Was
Heston.
Russell Crowe in it?
No.
Well, but when they do the remake, it could be Russell.
Yeah, flying around the world.
What else you got, John?
Oh man, I think I'm probably covered everything. I think I do love. I see your other point though. The scenery is beautiful. They really again, even as Ray's character hates it all. They are like making it look so beautiful. And then I do like how he's almost towards the end when it gets serious. Like he's appreciating it in a way. Like they're letting you see him just appreciate like the snow and looking around him, which I think is a really sort of nice like change for his character. So yeah, I think that's it's very unusual to have the film end seriously like it does after it's such a comedy in a way, and yet it still really works. It doesn't and I think it's not a downer just because of how spectacular the whole thing is, how it all
It's
works
hopeful
so well.
because he
It
finally
doesn't-
found a reason to live, right? That's
right,
the
sure,
hopeful
yes.
part.
Right. But
Because I agree
yeah.
totally. It's not.
Yeah.
People die. There's suicide involved.
There's
a
drugs
bunch of
involved.
sad people, drugs involved.
yeah.
But like
Oh, yeah,
at the
yeah.
end, I come out of it feeling good.
Everybody's a mess. Everyone in there, all those characters are a mess. Like they're not. These are not like happy people that have everything together. I don't think a single. Possibly the hotel owner. She's maybe got her life together. I don't know.
I think the
but,
guy selling guns in Bruges has it together too.
He seems all right.
He's
I
got
guess.
guns,
Yeah,
he's
he
got
seems pretty
alcoves, like, he's doing
happy-go-lucky.
good.
Yeah, he's all right. He's doing okay. Anyway, yeah, it is a really good watch. How long is it? It's like a
1 hour and
2-hour
50
film.
minutes. Yeah, it's like
No,
2
yeah.
hours.
Didn't feel long.
No,
only nominated for 1 Oscar.
the screenplay.
Yeah.
First movie though, pretty good. First movie you wrote and directed, you get nominated for a
First
screenplay.
Oh, that's
full
amazing.
It's not bad.
No, it's
feature
awesome.
film.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And like the way the reviews are going, I'm really fucking excited for this new one.
Well,
And
he got. I mean, again, they 3 Billboards got Best Actress and Best Supporting Actor.
yep,
Right?
and got nominated for Best Picture and a bunch of other
He
stuff.
got nominated, but maybe this is the year for him.
Did Seven Psychopaths get nominated for everything?
I
Anything?
don't think so.
No,
I don't
it
think
got
so.
nominated for one BAFTA for
What should we call our awards? BAFTA. That sounds like a.
That sounds like
fart
a
or
really
something.
bad
It just
idea.
Doesn't sound like they're the BAFTAs.
British
Okay.
Bring out the
Academy
Academy Film
for
Awards.
Film. What's the T?
I don't know. Film and theater.
Film and television arts.
Film and television
Television
arts. BAFTA.
British Academy Film and Television Arts Awards.
Yep. British Academy of Film
That's
and
a
Television
mouthful.
Arts. BAFTA.
We won a BAFTA. After what? Huh? Okay.
Do I have to win a BAFTA? No, of course you don't fucking have to.
You don't have to win a BAFTA. You don't have to.
BAFTA. You don't have to win a BAFTA.
You don't have to win a BAFTA. You don't have to.
I wish I had an Irish accent. I am Irish, and anytime there's people with thick Irish accents like this, it's the coolest sounding accent to me.
Oh,
it's true. They do. I know.
And it's very unlike some of the other films that we've watched, like Snatch or whatever. Whatever it is the way the audio is done. I don't know, but I don't have to turn on subtitles.
No.
Like
No,
everything.
I didn't either.
Despite the heavy accents, it was not hard to hear. But like Snatch or
It's
those are really
it's
good.
their actual accents. Like when you listen to interviews with Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell, when they talk like this. So they're Irish, but they talk to Americans all the time. So it's
kind of
they're
sort of
used
like
to
a
it,
softer, maybe.
Yeah.
maybe
It's not
they
as heavy.
learn how to
as thick.
make themselves understandable to people like us.
To
You know?
English,
It's like
so that the English people aren't going, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
What? Subtitles?
How they
God
American
damn
He's
it.
people?
talking
Yeah.
English because I don't
What
know.
the fuck did that dude just say?
I don't know. He's white, but I still can't understand him.
And we're going to get to The Departed soon. And I'm sure some scenes
Oh,
we might
The
have to turn
Departed.
the subtitles
Kid.
on because it's all people faking Irish accents.
Kid. Gonna go to the fucking Departed, kid. Can't wait.
Hooray.
I think
Looking forward
even
to
Matt
that one.
Damon, who has a Southie accent, just cranks up his Southie accent to the
Oh,
point
yeah.
where it's
Why
like,
not?
why are you
Fuck
faking
not.
it?
Fuck
Matt?
not.
You're from
Yeah.
Southie, you idiot.
Because he's been out here too long.
He's just
been out
crazy.
in LA for too long. You
It's too
forget
much.
over time. You just
So you
forget.
just become like a parody.
He's been Jason Bourne for
and
too
you
long.
hear-
And then he had to go
you
back to
hear
being
people
Southie.
with no accent here. It's just like some mid-range, middle of the road. You know, I'm
And
not
TC,
from
you're
anywhere.
probably losing your accent too.
I'm losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
little
real
bit.
sad, TC.
You know what a traitor.
It's like
Fucking guy.
Timmy Kneebuckles is Bing Bong in your heart, right?
Yeah,
He's
Timmy
like going to
Kneebuckles is
disappear
dead.
over time.
Bing
Timmy
Bong.
died. Timmy's
Oh
no
my
longer
God.
with us.
He's going to be lost in the pit of
Bing
bowling
Bong.
balls.
He's
like in,
lost in
whatever
the
that was.
fucking the accent
I don't know what the
graveyard.
hell is Timmy's song. How does that go? Bing Bong had his song. Did Timmy? What was Timmy's song?
99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. The fucking things flying up in the air. Whee! We're flying.
Right.
Timmy, we're flying.
I
fucking lost count.
Timmy, we're out of control. Timmy, steer this fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Timmy, you're too drunk to drive, Timmy.
Fuck off, everybody.
All right,
What are we talking
Couple
about?
questions on the plot. This time I was trying to. I don't know. Did Brendan Gleeson's character become a hitman because he had to ask Harry for help because his wife got murdered by somebody and he wanted to? He definitely got help by Harry to find his wife's murderer. But was he a
I
hit?
don't like
Was
that.
they talk about that briefly about like how that's how their relationship began.
Yeah.
But like
I don't know if that's how it began. I just think that's one particular thing he did to help him. But
right. So was he a hitman
I
before or
assume-
after that? Is
I
my
assume he was
question.
before. I assume that like they know he was brought up.
But if he was
like
hitman
Harry
before,
brought him
why
in
would he
as a
need Harry's
kid.
help to find him? He's already a hitman. Couldn't he like do something
Yeah,
about
but,
it?
do it
but
himself?
he still doesn't have the connections Harry has. Harry's like the head hitman. Harry's like hitman boss.
Do you think his wife got killed because he was a hitman?
Probably.
Probably.
Oh,
That makes a
maybe.
little sense
Yeah.
too. There.
A little muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could work.
But I just more put it together in my head, not that there was any word spoken that he was like, Harry took him in as a troubled kid or whatever, just like Ray's character sort of is, and just sort of like raised him in the business so that he's like a father
Groomed
figure to
him.
him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just assumed all that. Who knows? But yeah,
I like a world where all the hitmen are kind of like polite to each other and are kind of like friendly and
there's the
stuff.
Hitman's Code.
Yeah. It's a nice little world. As long as you don't do anything wrong, you won't get whacked, you know?
Right,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's also, I mean, and again, it's where this sort of real. It's still clear that this guy is a cold-blooded asshole killer, right? That Harry is. I mean, that's also made like brutally clear too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the juxtaposition of that makes that so like absurd, but doesn't seem unreal.
You're
either.
a fucking inanimate object.
Right. Sorry. It's like, sorry about that back there. You know, when he's all apologizing. It's like, oh, God. Oh.
Does he live at the end? What do we think?
He's been shot 5 times with dum-dum bullets, you know.
Dim bullets.
Dim.
Dim.
Dim
He
dim?
kept saying dim dim.
But I mean, they don't explode in his chest because they hit the actor's head, and that's where they explode, right? Because if it exploded in his
on
chest,
heads?
I don't know.
But they're
'Cause,
selective?
no, but I'm just saying in the movie,
head.
if it did explode in his stomach, then it wouldn't have blown the other guy's head off because it would have ripped apart the dude's chest and sprayed outward from his chest. So it wouldn't have blown the person's head who was standing 4 feet away from him.
Explode with whatever they impact.
That was what they explained. But the physics of it, John, I'm talking bullet physics over
physics.
here.
He's talking physics.
Yeah.
You go
Just
ahead.
imagine you have a
play with
line,
little
John.
diagrams.
You have two bodies. I'm going to do a little thing here. You got body here, 4 feet
For
away,
those
body
folks at
here.
home, Denny's got a finger and a hand.
Yeah, I
going
got two
here.
hands going. 2 hands.
Yeah, well, one's the finger, one's
I got
the hand.
one hand with
got
one
a
finger.
finger
I
and
got
a
a
hand.
flat
Totally
hand.
right. Don't want to mislead the audience that your other
Yeah.
finger isn't
So
also
he's got a
part of the
finger,
hand.
right? And it
I'm
looks
going to
like a
line it up with
bridge
my
to his
head
hand.
so you can remember where my
He's,
hand
you
was. I
know.
got a guy standing here,
Yeah.
this side
That's
of my
right,
head,
that's the
a
hand.
guy over here, this
And
side
two
of my
hands.
head. This is about
There's- but
4
just
feet
one hand
between these
being
two
two guys.
distances right here, okay?
Yeah,
and then you got these
distance between
dum-dums that when
Okay,
they
so there's
hit,
two distances,
when
right?
they hit, when you got the dum-dum, this body,
Yeah.
what is it? A body's like a foot thick? What do we think? 1 foot? A little less? From back
well,
to
depends
chest,
how heavy
depending
you
how
are,
fat
depends
you
how
are,
much you done.
I think.
Yeah,
Let's go a
yeah.
foot. So you have 1 foot, and the bullet
One
hits.
foot.
If it explodes
Yeah.
instantly, it is
Yeah.
spreading up and down and shredding the inside of somebody, losing velocity, and then also
Yes.
going in all sorts of
velocity.
directions, right?
That's right.
Naturally.
So a lot of it might not even come out the other side, and if it does,
Right.
it's going slower, it's going up
Right.
and down, it's
That's
not
right.
going in a straight line.
Which is what should have happened. So already it was unrealistic.
Right. So I think according to the
Maybe
description
they're
of what they
bad
do,
dim-dims.
that's what should happen. But what did
Right.
happen is that I think maybe because it was so close that like he shot him and the bullet didn't have time to explode, so it just went straight through the first body.
What do you mean
It
it doesn't have
was-
time
it
to explode?
was
It explodes
loosened
on
up.
impact.
I think it was
doesn't have
loosened
time.
up by
It
the
doesn't
first
explode
body.
before it hits the body. It explodes as it hits whatever it hits.
So it
not
was like
before.
Colin Farrell's body loosened the pickle jar, and then as soon as it hit the other guy's head, it was
Right.
ready to go. And it just,
Maybe
boom.
they were bad. They were just bad dim-dims. Like the little divots weren't made deep enough, So I don't know.
I don't know what just happened.
I'm making myself laugh over here. I didn't get
That's
any
right.
sleep the past month
Oh,
and a
he's
half.
blaming it on sleep,
Why not?
folks.
Why not?
Just because of being sick?
No, other
No.
things.
Just 'cause
I
he's,
blame
you
it
know,
on.
he's such a
Wait,
busy man.
Isn't that a good excuse? Not getting
What?
sleep? Doesn't John get that to use that a lot? Can I not use that? Come on, let me use it.
I have the children. That helps.
Ah,
No,
See,
do you
that
want
trumps
a
everything.
full excuse? It's
Usually I
a
have a reason.
I'm a bad sleeper, so I got one of these sleep pad things on a trial on Black Friday, and I put it on the
Okay.
bed last night, and it cools down underneath you, and I woke up at 2:00 in the morning freezing cold because it was
Oh, boy.
too cold, and then I was
Oh.
just fucking fiddling with the temperature thing for the next 4 hours, and I didn't get to go to sleep.
Oh God, I'm
Wow,
sorry.
that sounds like it's counterproductive from what it's supposed to do, huh?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'd say so. Yeah, hey,
It's
buy
like,
this thing. You're going to sleep great.
Torture yourself at night.
Set
It's great.
to Arctic.
Yeah.
There's your
Don't worry.
problem. You got it set to Arctic. You need to have
Yeah.
it set to cool summer breeze.
Oh, it's terrible. I got a little bit of trivia.
Okay.
Because I don't have any unfortunate thing with like.
You didn't read the script. It was on the blacklist in 2006.
You're right. I should have read the script.
I didn't. Who would have thought?
Maybe for Seven Psychopaths, I'll read the script.
All right. So no special features in the Blu-ray, which sucks. I hate it when that happens. I want to hear this guy talk.
Yeah.
And it sounds
Yeah,
like
it
he
would be
likes
neat
to
hear.
talk
Yeah.
because I had to look up like podcast interviews and like late night interviews with this guy. And he seems like he likes the camera. He's good in front of the camera. Martin McDonagh. He likes talking about his stuff. So I don't know why he's not doing a commentary for any of his movies so far. Usually those type of people jump on it, but
Maybe he just
knows?
doesn't want to.
anyway, there was a pretty good Film 4 interview I found that had Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell, and Martin McDonagh being interviewed about this movie. And there was some pretty cool trivia about it. The screenplay was written when Martin McDonagh, I think, as we said before, he's a playwright. A playwright? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah. Is that something?
Well, you got there. So that's all that
he's a
matters.
professional
Yeah.
writer. He writes stories for a living. He just doesn't do movies that much.
One of those.
But he took a couple day trip to Bruges one time 4 years before this movie came out. And he went there to go sightseeing, to look at things. And he thought it was beautiful the first day and a half. But then day 2 comes around and he started having all these feelings of like, holy shit, all there is to do here is like look at churches and buildings. This is so boring. All I wanted to do is get drunk and get a prostitute and fuck somebody.
Oh,
So
wow.
He said that.
So all he want, like, so the original seed of the idea of this movie came from like the two different personalities he kind of had within himself of like the first one being like,
Interesting.
I love sightseeing, I love beautiful things.
And the other one
then
being like,
the
I'm going to
second one
fucking
being
tear
like,
this place
is
up.
so
Yeah.
boring. This sucks. I just want to
That's
get
awesome.
drunk and go crazy.
Yeah,
So
right.
he's like, all
Nice.
right. So I want to have these two characters next to each other so they can experience these conflicting thoughts together in Bruges. That would be fun.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then he thought, all right,
Yeah.
so how can I get these two people to be forced together? Like, how would you get somebody who doesn't want to be there and somebody
Hitmen.
who has to,
Yeah.
hitmen that were on a bad job that had to run away. That was like the excuse
That's
to get
great.
these guys
It's great.
in this place.
This is how it works.
Yeah,
It's
and-
awesome.
So they came from London because originally he was thinking they'd be English people. So London was written in. But then Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson came into audition and they were perfect. So then they rewrote, part of it. There wasn't too much rewriting needing to be done, but they made them Irish instead of English because they're perfect for this movie.
Huh.
Nice.
And I have to
Good
imagine
stuff.
the selection of the Dubliners song during the Brendan Gleeson's jumping off the tower scene probably is due to them being Irish. They probably wouldn't have used an Irish song if he wasn't Irish, I would think.
Maybe.
But
Maybe not.
that also
Yeah.
makes me happy that they picked that song because
It worked really well.
Yeah.
It was a great song.
They did 3 weeks of rehearsal before shooting this movie, which it doesn't seem like atypical, I guess, but the way Colin Farrell described it was he was not looking forward to it. He thought it was going to be boring after week one, but they realized while going through the 3 weeks that there was so much depth to the story and the dialogue and the script that they were able to like work with everything in it to make every scene like better. So they worked over and over again on every scene for 3 weeks to come up with what they had here. So
Right.
it wasn't just
Wow.
like, script is great,
They
actors
weren't
are
just
great,
like
but they
reading the
worked
script,
at it.
reading their lines, and then going to
They
work.
thought
and
about
that's
it
Yeah.
beforehand, which
And they like practiced how they were going to deliver it.
Right.
And did
they
that
saw
together.
it worked.
and-
They developed their characters,
Yeah.
all that
Right.
good stuff,
Right.
which
right.
yeah,
Which
it's
is
never a
cool.
bad thing.
Which is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. It certainly shows. Maybe that's part of why, again, that's not just the script itself. Then that's like, the script encourages that, right? But
Right.
then that's all of these actors working together and somehow creating this, the sense of wanting to do more with it and
Right.
wanting to
Yeah.
work on it. Sort of. That's
Yeah.
That's
And it
pretty
leads
cool.
to, there's a reason why Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson are working with this guy again, I have to imagine, and vice versa, because like when they're talking about each other, Martin McDonagh is like, these actors made the movie. They made it perfect, better than I could have imagined. And then when you talk to the actors, they're like, the reason this was so good is because the scripts, like we barely had
Right.
to do anything.
Right.
So they're
Right.
just like,
it's all in there.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Martin McDonagh, as we said, has never made a movie before, except for that one thing that John brought up. But he storyboarded
Some short film
because
that
he like looked
you
up
know.
how to do. He was like basically looking up how to make a movie while like after he wrote the script, and he came to the conclusion that lots of really good movies use storyboards. So he started
Oh yeah.
making storyboards for the first time, and he did it for 2 months before
Wow.
making the
Wow.
movie storyboards, and he was using them on set and it helped. But Colin Farrell during part of his interview was making fun of the storyboards because he said it was little matchstick men in every
Oh,
single
wow.
frame because he can't draw. It's not like a Ridley
That's so
Scott
much-
thing or anything.
Like his storyboards
Right.
were just so basic.
It's so bad.
just
He's like, all right,
lines.
this
Yeah,
guy on the
right.
left, that guy on the right. And you're like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Martin.
Okay,
Right,
dude. Yep.
Whatever
Well,
you
and
say.
again, he has done. I wonder why.
Whatever you
I guess because you have to shoot it. I don't know how many
That's
plays
funny.
he's done, but he's done a lot of plays before he ended up doing this movie, right? So, his second movie.
Shorts don't count. Can we lay that as a ground rule?
No, I didn't agree to that.
I didn't. Yeah, there you go.
Can we agree to it now?
No.
Nope.
Shit. Martin said that the actors helped him through because everyone else on set had more experience than him. So he was looking for help
Ah.
and they were happy to help. So sounds
Of
like a real
course.
collaborative experience.
Yeah.
They filmed this in March in Bruges, fully in Bruges. And they asked all the residents of Bruges to keep their Christmas decorations up through March. And they gave a vague
Oh,
explanation
nice.
for why. And most people did. So
What
Oh,
was
wow.
what was the explanation?
I don't
It's
know.
like-
But it wasn't that they were going to
just-
film a movie and we want Christmas decorations. They said it was like vague.
They lied to them.
Yeah, they lied to the people of Bruges.
Ah.
That's cool. 12 weeks to shoot. Shockingly
Not bad.
short period of time. I mean,
Pretty
I think
nominal budget,
John
too.
recently asked, we were at 19 weeks for a shoot. I forget what movie it
Right.
was. And you asked, is that the shortest movie we've ever watched in terms of how long it took to shoot? Really not time. That's like nothing.
No, it's
right?
quick. It's
Yeah.
quick. But this movie
Pretty
was
crazy.
just a lot of, it was a lot of talking. There weren't many sets. It wasn't a lot of
But they were
locations.
filming on location.
Yeah, but
That's
outside.
something.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying it was,
I think maybe it
wasn't that
Whiplash. I think
complex,
Whiplash was the.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I think that was right, and that
But
also
I mean,
made sense. Given that film wasn't like.
and the budget was pretty low too. It's 15 mil on this.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's not much. So, 15 mil is probably only going to go 12 weeks. You can't stretch 15 mil much further than that, I don't think.
And the last piece of trivia I have, this is straight from IMDb, so I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here. There are 5 people in this movie that were in the Harry Potter franchise.
Oh, wow.
You got
So we have
Ray Fiennes, Voldemort. You got Brendan Gleeson, who plays Alistair Mad-Eye Moody.
Oh, you're right. He
Okay.
does. Okay, yeah.
You got Clemence Posey, probably saying that wrong, who plays Fleur Delacour, probably saying that wrong.
Uh-huh.
Does that make any sense? The girlfriend plays
Yeah.
somebody in one of the movies.
Yeah.
You
She's
got,
like
oh man, these names. Ciaran Hinds, who is the priest, who plays
right.
Aberforth Dumbledore.
Okay.
Aberforth? Is that like
Is it
Albus's
like a brother of Dumbledore? I don't
know.
Well, Naomi should know all this.
Well, she probably does, yeah. And finally, Colin Farrell, who plays Percival Graves. I didn't know he was in Harry Potter.
I think he might. Maybe that's in like the Fantastic Beasts stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yep, it is. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Okay, so
Yeah.
the franchise, I guess, not the
The
series.
franchise, yeah.
The first ones, but
Okay.
that's all I got, guys.
All right.
All right.
Would you put this in the
this
top 250?
In the top 250. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would
This
do
movie is
that.
teetering on the
100%.
edge. It's got a 7.9 with 427,000 votes. That's pretty damn
Wow.
close.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not on there. I don't know who would watch this and be
Yeah,
like,
I am too.
less than an 8. Who
Right.
are you? And why are you watching movies? Come on.
They want,
They were laughing too hard when the watermelon
Transformers or
exploded.
something. Yeah,
Maybe.
right. When the cantaloupe opened up wide.
Free fruit for everyone.
Yeah. They got turned off from that.
We got some options next week, guys.
Do we?
Wait.
have-
Well, I thought we were on a sequence here.
So we were.
Or do you want to break
I
it?
was editing after you said the sequence thing. I was editing another episode, and I said that we might want to save 7 Psychopaths for Halloween, but I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
We could keep it going with the 7 Psychopaths, and I kind of want to because the next
I'm
movie
down.
on the list is The Pianist, which I'll push off as long as we can to watch that.
Yeah.
movie.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah, that movie is sad as fuck, and I could
Yeah,
definitely.
Yes, it is.
let's do that, and because I'm
Yes,
anxious
it
to watch.
is.
it-
Let's
to
not
watch
watch
the
that
latest
during
one.
the holidays.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the
agreed.
pianist during
All
the
right.
holidays.
Yeah.
So 7
That's out for
Psychopaths.
December. 7 Psychopaths it is.
And John, I don't know if you noticed, but I skipped you this week in terms of turn because TC hadn't
You
seen
always
it.
skip me because you don't like me.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's true. Let's just
Yeah, I
leave it at that.
noticed,
That's
Danny.
funny.
I noticed.
That's
I took
funny.
notes.
Yeah.
I've got a list.
Yeah,
Danny.
poor John. Huh?
Hey, John,
Yeah.
John, next week if
Hey.
you read the script, maybe I'll give you the first slot. What do you say?
Only
Maybe
if you
I'll-
come prepared
trying to make
will
you
you
happy,
get
Danny.
the
I'll
top
try.
billing. Okay.
I'll try.
So I'm just
I
saying this
noticed. I
because
noticed when I'm treated badly.
also next week I'm going to let TC go first because he hasn't seen 7 Psychopaths either.
Oh, well, you know what? I just feel so happy that I can be the top star for
That's
a
right.
couple weeks.
It's
You know, I'm just appreciative of that, Danny. I really do.
It's
I
really
really
a group
do.
effort that you're the
Hey, but John,
star
how about
of.
this? To make it up to you, John, I'll give you the first slot for the Banshees movie. How about that? Does that make you feel good?
might be-
He's
we'll
dishing
see.
out top
okay.
spots.
I really
Come
don't
on.
mind. I don't
Merry
need to
Christmas.
be. I know. Yeah.
You
Thanks,
know?
boss. Thanks, boss.
Yeah.
I'm going to work harder, boss. You'll see.
That's right.
I can't.
All right.
I can't refute that. No, I can't.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're watching 7 Psychopaths.
Let's
We're
do
watching 7
Psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
Hey,
I think this
Hey,
movie
we
might
have-
be
we haven't-
Christmas themed too, and even if it's
We
not,
haven't
you
had a
know.
movie with Christopher Walken yet.
Even if
We've
it's
got,
not,
we've got
you know.
Pulp Fiction.
Wait,
but-
yes, we have.
What do we had? Who else do we have? What do
Deer
we have
Hunter.
with Christopher. Oh, right.
Is that the only?
That
No, and then
was-
also Catch Me If You Can. And there's probably
Who's
other
in
ones
Catch Me
too.
If You Can?
He was the dad.
Shit. Well, Deer Hunter was happily forgettable.
Oh, you don't remember the scene where he shoots himself in the head?
Yeah. See, no, I didn't want to. Oh my God, you're
Oh,
right.
you mean you don't love that scene?
Spoilers.
Really?
This one's Christopher Walken. Really is Christopher Walken. You'll see.
All right.
Is it? Okay.
No, I don't know.
All right. If there's no actual Christmas scene, maybe 3/4 of the way through, TC just like shake a jingle bell next to your head for like 5 minutes, and it'll be Christmas themed.
I can do that.
We could also like if you want to
it's
think
not
of a
the
Christmas
pianist,
movie, to
so
throw
that's
in
all
there.
that I care about.
Yeah, there is that. But if we want to,
because I like that movie, but not for Christmas.
I don't know. There aren't that many good Christmas films. Other
Not for
Die Hard
Christmas.
works, but yeah.
In Bruges is Christmas, man, or it's at least holidays.
We did it. This is our Christmas film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the audio is going to be all fucked up from the Back to the Future one because we're gonna sign off now and do a little promo on the first one, or whatever you want to call it, a little insert, an audio insert.
Little apology.
Yeah. A little peek behind the glass, audience. Yeah, this is how it works.
Audio
is transferable. Believe it or not. You can move it around.
Is that what it is?
Jump
You can
time.
edit it.
It's magic, really.
Okay.
Delete the silence.
Do we need to stop recording and record another one?
Probably. Should we say goodbye?
Well, first,
all right, well, we should
goodbye.
say goodbye. I guess we're going to end this one, folks.
Tell your
Have a good
friends.
day and have a
Happy
good
2023,
holiday.
even though
Happy
that's going to be the
holidays.
second episode of 2023. But
Yeah.
yay.
All right.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Stop 'em.